Hello everyone, Unknown Reefer here, bringing you a very long-awaited tank update. Haven't really done much with the tank, been very busy, so I really haven't had time to do anything with the tank or to do any videos, but I've got a few minutes now, so I thought I'd do a few things. First thing you'll probably see is I replaced those noisy cooling fans that I had with these, still quite loud, but slightly quieter PC case fans that I've just mounted on brackets that I've 3D printed up there. All the lighting's still the same, all the filtration's still the same. I haven't really put much new in the tank either. I did do quite a large water change with some natural seawater, and either because it was just different levels or there was something in that seawater. I've never had a problem before, but I lost quite a bit of coral, just got upset and died off. I know my local authority, with any sign of rain, they do decide to dump sewage into the sea, so I've now gone back to mixing it up and doing water changes from everything being mixed over. So hopefully I'll get back on track with that. The only other there's been a few new developments in the tank. My clowns have started to host the elegance, which, whilst it's quite cool to see, although the elegance is still surviving, it's not dying off or anything, it's not opening up anywhere near as big as it did, which is a bit of a shame because it's a very pretty bit of coral. It's still quite nice and quite a decent size there, but it opens out probably as big as these clove polyps, probably bigger, when it's not got the clowns hosting in it. What else is there? Obviously my acans still continue to grow quite nicely. They're really good. They're probably some of my favourite coral in the tank. My frog spawn, I actually had this as a half a head because it broke and it fell down the back of the tank and I lost it. It's gone through all my tank disasters and it's gone in there, and I think I counted about 8 or 9 heads on that when it was closed up in the night a few nights ago. And then this hammer as well was 1 head when I bought it, and that's now 5 heads, I think. So my LPS is doing alright. This trackie, for some reason, isn't very happy. I don't know whether something crawls over it or something's been pecking at it, but it's not very happy. Doesn't seem to be receding anymore, but it's not opening right out. I might consider moving that, possibly to slightly lower light level, as I span that rock around a little bit to just get a few more bits of the coral behind in. Other thing I might do a review of, if I can actually get it on camera, is I've got a little pistol shrimp in there that I've got to pair up with this suntail goby, but it didn't have any of it. So you get the click from the pistol shrimp. You occasionally see him when food goes in. Other than that, you don't really see him. As this bit of Monty died off in my disaster, I got another bit of plating Monty, which seems to be doing alright. In fact, the red bit has kind of got a little bit of life left on it. So I'm kind of leaving that and seeing what happens. My Blasto closed up for the part like this for a few days. I don't know what's upsetting it. But Blastos are reasonably bulletproof, so I'm just going to leave it to its own devices. It'll probably come back. My sort of mushroom garden seems to be growing quite well, apart from these ones at the top, these furry ones. I think there is a new head on it there, but they're not maybe growing as fast as the rest of these green ones. I think that green one went over at 2 of them, and there was 1 or 2 of these ones here. And obviously these red ones open up nice. I think there's about 4 there from 1. So those are doing quite well, which probably means my nutrient levels are quite high. I must admit, I haven't tested the nutrient levels in this tank for a while. It is on my to-do list. I'm going to try and do it this weekend. But, you know, generally, I mean, all the fish seem happy. And running. I've got a lot of coral growth in certain places. Some of my more sensitive corals are a bit upset. This nice big chalice here, I span it round, this rock round, so it's getting a little bit more light. So there's a little bit of upset at the edge there, but I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm hoping it's just getting used to. Although it's in more light, it is actually, because it's more direct, it is actually kind of shielded because the light doesn't go push that far forward. So I'm kind of hoping that won't go any further. I had a bit of a rearrange. This sort of vertical, this rock was vertical pretty much onto this other rock work here, but I've put it this way, and then I've put the clove polyps that I've got on there because I got them cheap ages ago, just so they can grow over that entire bit of rock work. I think that'll look quite cool, and then there's a nice space behind here for a fish to go to sleep in, especially once this coral grows out a bit more, although obviously it will close up at night. The only other new addition is this anemone over here, which seems to be mildly happy. It's kind of found a spot now. It's been in there probably 2 weeks now. I did get it to try and hope the clowns would host. Here's hosting in the elegance. Would host in that rather than my elegance, but they haven't found it yet. Maybe if it stays in there for a while, it'll grow up and get a bit bigger, and they will find it. There's my arrow over there, but we'll see how it goes. I did get a Lobo for Father's Day, which is not happy. It's probably dying off. I've moved some of my SPS over onto this rock to try and get them to grow out. They were over here, but because I put the nem underneath, I decided to move it in case the nem went up high. Green Slimer's still there, still chugging away. That grows quite happily. And I've also had these Zoas at the top decide to have a bit of a sulk. They did cover this little bit of rock, and then they've just gone into major sulk mode. I think realistically my problems are all just it was that big water change with seawater, which was too different to what I was doing, because I was doing quite small changes with mixed up water, and then I did a big water change with, I mean, we're talking 75 litres nearly of seawater, and it just upset the tank. And I think now I just need to, because of travelling for work, I'm not really keeping up with the water changes. I mean, I'm dosing and I'm adding phosphate remover and a little bit of Nopoxin, and I've got my refugium and stuff going, but I think I just need to keep up with those water changes to get a few of these bits of coral that are a bit sulky back. But in saying that, all those bits of LPS are doing lovely. So I think what I'll probably end up doing, that's just been hosted, so that's closing up even more. What I'll probably end up doing is trying to keep on top of the levels. But if this just turns into a pure LPS and a few bits of softy tank, I wouldn't be too upset with it, to be honest. I thought I would try, because I've got some better lights than I've ever had before. I'd try a bit of SPS. If it doesn't work out, I've spent no more than 10-20 quid on per bit. I mean, most bits of the SPS I've got for like a £5 anyway. So it's not the end of the world if they die off. I will just concentrate on LPS and a few softies. So there we go. That's the general tank update. For anybody that was wondering, I will try and do some more reviews of bits of kit and fish and corals. Thanks a lot.